Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a mind-bending episode of Timeless Talks. I'm your host, David Lee, and today we're embarking on a journey deep into the intellectual universe of a man whose ideas ignited revolutions of thought. Brace yourselves, for we have the enigmatic John Locke with us, ready to unravel the secrets of his extraordinary life. John, would you please introduce yourself to our audience?
I was born on August 29, 1632, in the quaint town of Rington, Somerset, England. Growing up in the midst of a turbulent period in English history, my formative years were witness to civil unrest and political upheaval. My thirst for knowledge led me to study at the esteemed Westminster School, followed by a journey to Christ Church, Oxford, where I delved into the realms of classical philosophy and natural sciences. These academic endeavors laid the foundation for my later contributions to the field of philosophy. After completing my studies, I found myself immersed in the political climate of the time. It was during this period that I had the privilege of serving as a personal physician and trusted advisor to Lord Ashley, later known as the Earl of Shaftesbury. Our discussions on political theory and the nature of governance ignited a passion within me to delve deeper into the intricate workings of society and human understanding. Throughout my life, I witnessed the consequences of religious and political intolerance, which drove me to pen my works on tolerance, government, and the human mind. It is with immense gratitude that I acknowledge the influence of my travels, conversations, and intellectual exchanges, which enriched my perspectives and refined my philosophical principles. So this is the brief tapestry of my life, woven with moments of introspection, exploration, and relentless pursuit of truth.
John, throughout your life, you've been a staunch advocate for individual liberty and limited government. What personal experiences or influences shaped your strong belief in these principles?
The roots of my firm belief in individual liberty and limited government can be traced back to the historical context in which I lived, as well as my personal experiences and intellectual journey. During the tumultuous times of the English Civil War and the Glorious Revolution, I witnessed firsthand the consequences of unchecked power and the suppression of individual rights. These events compelled me to contemplate the nature of governance and the relationship between the ruler and the ruled. My interactions and discussions with notable thinkers of the time, such as Lord Ashley, played a pivotal role in shaping my convictions. Through our dialogues, I delved into questions of natural rights, the social contract, and the role of government in protecting the fundamental liberties of individuals. Drawing inspiration from classical philosophers like Aristotle and the natural law tradition, I recognize the inherent dignity and autonomy of every human being. I firmly believe that individuals possess certain inalienable rights that should be safeguarded by a just and accountable government. The concept of limited government, as espoused in my works, aimed to prevent the concentration of power and protect individual liberties. I advocated for a government that is bound by a social contract, deriving its legitimacy from the consent of the governed and being accountable to them. My philosophical inquiries and observations of the human condition led me to conclude that individual liberty is not only a natural right, but also a catalyst for progress and human flourishing. By allowing individuals to exercise their autonomy, society can thrive and unlock the full potential of its members. So, David, it is through a combination of historical circumstances, intellectual exploration, and a deep commitment to the principles of freedom and human rights that I arrived at my unwavering advocacy for individual liberty and limited government.
Your two treatises of government has been hailed as a cornerstone of political philosophy. Could you explain your main arguments regarding natural rights and the social contract, and how they continue to resonate in today's society?
In the two treatises of government, I sought to elucidate the foundations of political authority and the rights of individuals in a society. My arguments revolved around the notions of natural rights and the social contract, concepts that continue to resonate in our modern world. At the core of my philosophy lies the belief in natural rights, which I deemed inherent to every human being by virtue of their existence. These rights, such as life, liberty, and property, are not bestowed by governments, but are fundamental entitlements that precede any social or political order. They serve as a moral compass, guiding the actions of individuals and the limits of governmental power. The social contract, in my view, is a voluntary agreement between individuals to form a government for the purpose of securing and protecting their natural rights. This contract, based on mutual consent, establishes the legitimacy of the governing authority and places it under the obligation to act in the best interests of the people it governs. These arguments have enduring significance in today's society. The concept of natural rights reminds us that individuals possess certain unalienable entitlements that should be respected and protected. It emphasizes the importance of individual autonomy and freedom from arbitrary interference. Moreover, the social contract provides a framework for understanding the relationship between citizens and their government. It reminds us that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, and their primary role is to safeguard the rights and well-being of the people. It serves as a reminder that governments exist to serve the people, and not the other way around. In an era marked by ongoing debates on individual rights, government authority, and the balance between liberty and security, my ideas offer a timeless perspective. They encourage us to critically examine the actions of our governments, to question the legitimacy of their exercise of power, and to strive for a society that upholds the natural rights of its citizens while promoting the common good. So, the principles of natural rights and the social contract continue to resonate as foundational concepts in our understanding of political philosophy and the pursuit of a just and equitable society. It is my hope that by exploring and embracing these principles, we can shape a world that honors individual freedom and fosters the flourishing of all its members.
In your works, you emphasize the importance of private property in the pursuit of happiness. However, some critics argue that your ideas may have contributed to economic inequality. How do you respond to these allegations, and how do you envision a society that balances individual rights with social responsibility?
When I spoke of private property, I sought to defend the natural right of individuals to the fruits of their labor and their ability to enjoy and dispose of their possessions as they see fit. This was not intended to perpetuate unchecked accumulation of wealth or promote an unjust distribution of resources. Rather, it was grounded in the belief that the ownership of property encourages industry, innovation, and the improvement of one's own condition. In addressing economic inequality, it is important to recognize that my philosophy is not confined to the protection of property alone. I also advocated for a society that upholds individual rights and the pursuit of happiness for all its members. This includes the recognition of the equal worth and dignity of every individual, ensuring equal access to opportunities and social mobility. Furthermore, my ideas on limited government and the social contract provide a framework for addressing societal imbalances. It is the role of a just and accountable government to safeguard the rights of all individuals, ensuring that the pursuit of happiness is not hindered by systemic inequalities. This requires a delicate balance between protecting individual rights and promoting the welfare of the community as a whole. In envisioning a society that balances individual rights with social responsibility, I propose a pragmatic approach. It involves recognizing the importance of both personal autonomy and collective well-being. This can be achieved through mechanisms such as progressive taxation, social safety nets, and inclusive policies that address systemic barriers to equal opportunity. To me, a just society is one that values and respects the rights and freedoms of its citizens while actively working to minimize social inequalities. It is a society that promotes education, empowers individuals to reach their full potential, and ensures that no one is left behind. The challenge lies in striking a balance that acknowledges and respects individual rights while fostering a sense of shared responsibility and social cohesion. It requires ongoing dialogue, critical reflection, and a commitment to the common good. By striving for such a balance, we can aspire to build a society that upholds both individual liberty and social justice.
Many consider your essay concerning human understanding as a groundbreaking work in the field of epistemology. However, your theory of tabula rasa, the blank slate, has faced criticism regarding its applicability to human nature. How do you address these concerns, and what are your thoughts on the inherent nature versus nurture debate?
My theory of tabula rasa, or the blank slate, has been both acclaimed and critiqued throughout history, particularly in relation to its applicability to human nature and the nature versus nurture debate. My intention with the theory of tabula rasa was to propose that at birth, the mind is a blank slate, devoid of innate knowledge or predispositions. Instead, I argued that our knowledge and understanding are derived from our experiences, perceptions, and reflections upon the world around us. This concept opens the door to the remarkable potential of human learning, adaptability, and personal growth. Critics have rightly pointed out that the human mind is not a completely blank slate, as it is influenced by genetic factors and innate dispositions. I do acknowledge that there are biological and innate characteristics that shape individuals to varying degrees. However, it is essential to note that the primary focus of my theory was on the acquisition of knowledge and the formation of ideas through experience and reflection. In the nature versus nurture debate, I believe that both factors play significant roles in shaping human beings. Nature provides the foundation, the raw materials, so to speak, while nurture, encompassing our experiences, education, and social environment, molds and refines those raw materials. The interplay between nature and nurture is complex and intertwined, and it is through this dynamic interaction that individuals develop their unique identities and characteristics. Rather than engaging in an either-or dichotomy between nature and nurture, I suggest that we view them as complementary influences that together shape human nature. It is the intricate interplay between innate predispositions and the external environment that gives rise to the rich tapestry of human diversity and individuality. As our understanding of genetics and neurobiology advances, it is imperative that we continue to explore the complex relationship between nature and nurture. This ongoing inquiry enables us to better comprehend the unique blend of genetic endowments and environmental factors that contribute to human development and the formation of individual traits. While my theory of tabula rasa has faced criticism, I believe it remains a valuable framework for understanding how knowledge is acquired and how individuals interact with their surroundings. The inherent nature versus nurture debate continues to provoke intellectual exploration and challenge our assumptions, encouraging us to delve deeper into the intricacies of human nature and the complexities of human experience.
Your views on religious toleration and the separation of church and state were ahead of your time, advocating for freedom of conscience and the rejection of religious coercion. How do you think your ideas have influenced the development of modern democracies? And do you see any room for improvement in the way we handle religious diversity today?
My advocacy for religious toleration was rooted in the belief that individuals should have the freedom to choose and practice their own religious beliefs without fear of persecution or coercion. I argued for the separation of church and state, emphasizing that the role of government should be limited to civil matters, while matters of faith and religious conscience should remain within the domain of individual autonomy. These ideas have had a profound impact on the development of modern democracies. They influenced the drafting of key documents, such as the United States Constitution's First Amendment, which enshrines the principles of religious freedom and the separation of church and state. Many other democratic societies have also embraced these principles, recognizing the importance of protecting religious diversity and upholding the rights of individuals to follow their own beliefs. However, challenges remain in the way we handle religious diversity today. While progress has been made, instances of religious discrimination, intolerance, and conflicts persist in various parts of the world. It is essential to continually strive for improvement in fostering an inclusive society that respects and values religious diversity. One way to address these challenges is through education and dialogue, promoting a greater understanding and appreciation of different religious traditions. By fostering empathy and encouraging open conversations, we can create an environment where diverse perspectives are respected and conflicts are resolved peacefully. It is crucial for governments and institutions to uphold and protect the rights of individuals to practice their chosen faith, while also ensuring that these rights do not infringe upon the rights and well-being of others. Balancing religious freedom with the need to maintain social harmony and respect for human rights is a complex task that requires ongoing examination and refinement. In the face of increasing globalization and interconnectedness, our ability to navigate religious diversity with wisdom and fairness is vital. By embracing the principles of religious toleration, respecting individual conscience, and fostering dialogue among diverse faith communities, we can create a more inclusive and harmonious society.
As one of the leading figures of the Enlightenment, your ideas challenge the authority of absolute monarchies. However, some argue that your thoughts on revolution and resistance may have inspired violent uprisings. How do you respond to this criticism, and do you believe that your principles can be applied in a responsible and peaceful manner in the face of tyranny?
When I discussed revolution and resistance, my aim was not to advocate for wanton violence or chaos, but rather to provide a theoretical framework for individuals to defend their natural rights when faced with tyranny and oppression. I firmly believed in the inherent right of individuals to protect their lives, liberties, and property from arbitrary encroachments by those in power. However, I did emphasize that resistance should be guided by reason, law, and proportionality. I argued for the importance of establishing just and accountable governments that protect the rights of citizens and uphold the rule of law. I proposed that resistance should be a last resort when all peaceful means of redress have been exhausted. It is crucial to note that my principles were not meant to endorse or justify violence without restraint. Rather, they sought to provide individuals with the tools to challenge tyranny responsibly and in a manner that aligns with the pursuit of justice and the preservation of social order. I believe that resistance should be undertaken with a clear understanding of its purpose, guided by reason and a genuine commitment to the common good. In terms of applying these principles in a responsible and peaceful manner, I firmly believe that they can and should be upheld. The pursuit of liberty and justice need not rely solely on violent means, but can be achieved through constructive dialogue, advocacy for legal reforms, and the promotion of civic engagement. Nonviolent resistance, grounded in the principles of reason, moral conviction, and respect for human dignity, has proven to be a powerful force for positive change throughout history. It is important to recognize that the principles of liberty and resistance should not be seen as a license for indiscriminate violence or as a means to undermine social order. They should be applied with prudence, careful consideration, and a commitment to the well-being of all members of society. In the face of tyranny, the responsible application of these principles requires strategic thinking, unity, and a steadfast dedication to the ideals of justice and human rights. By engaging in peaceful means of resistance, such as civil disobedience, peaceful protests, and democratic participation, individuals can work collectively to challenge unjust authority and foster positive social change.
Over the centuries, numerous quotes have been attributed to you. One of the most famous is, "No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience." Could you share with us the meaning behind this quote, and how it reflects your philosophy on human understanding and knowledge?
No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience emphasizes the central role that experience plays in shaping our understanding of the world. In essence, this quote highlights the notion that our knowledge is derived from our sensory perceptions and direct experiences. It asserts that we cannot possess knowledge of things beyond what we have encountered or observed through our senses. Our understanding of the world is grounded in the empirical evidence we gather through observation, reflection, and the examination of our own experiences. By recognizing the limitations of our knowledge, we can adopt a humble and cautious approach to understanding the world around us. It encourages us to rely on evidence and reason, rather than relying solely on abstract theories or speculative reasoning divorced from tangible experiences. This quote underscores the importance of empirical inquiry and the scientific method as a means of expanding our knowledge. By actively engaging with the world and continually seeking new experiences, we can broaden our understanding and refine our knowledge. This principle also resonates with the concept of the tabula rasa, or the blank slate, which suggests that the mind is initially devoid of innate knowledge and is shaped by the accumulation of experiences and sensory perceptions. It reinforces the idea that knowledge is not predetermined by external sources, but rather emerges through our engagement with the world. In summary, this quote serves as a reminder of the foundational role of experience in the acquisition of knowledge. It urges individuals to approach knowledge with an open mind, grounded in evidence and observation. By recognizing the importance of experience, we can continually seek to expand our understanding and refine our knowledge of the world.
John, your ideas have shaped the foundations of modern democratic societies. Looking back on your life and work, what legacy do you hope to leave behind? And what advice would you give to individuals seeking to make a positive impact on the world today?
Reflecting upon my life's work, my primary hope is to leave a legacy that inspires individuals to embrace the principles of individual rights, limited government, and the pursuit of progress. I strive to encourage the recognition and protection of human dignity, the autonomy of individuals, and the promotion of human flourishing in all aspects of life. If there is one piece of advice I would offer to those seeking to make a positive impact on the world today, it would be to value reason and rationality in their pursuits. Embrace critical thinking and evidence-based arguments as the foundation for addressing societal challenges. Engage in thoughtful and respectful dialogue, recognizing that diversity of opinions and perspectives can lead to progress and social improvement. Furthermore, I would urge individuals to recognize the power of education and the dissemination of knowledge. An informed and enlightened citizenry is essential for the functioning of a just and prosperous society. It is through education that individuals can develop their potential, challenge oppressive systems, and contribute meaningfully to the betterment of their communities. Importantly, I believe in the power of peaceful and responsible activism. Engage in public discourse, advocate for justice and equality, and work towards constructive change through nonviolent means. Remember that progress requires patience and perseverance, as transformative societal shifts often occur gradually rather than instantaneously. In the pursuit of a positive impact, it is crucial to respect the rights and freedoms of others. Embrace the principles of tolerance and respect for differing opinions, recognizing that a diversity of perspectives fosters innovation, understanding, and progress. I hope that individuals will carry forward the ideals of individual liberty, reason, and social improvement that I have championed. By upholding these principles and striving for a more just and equitable society, we can contribute to a legacy of progress, freedom, and human flourishing for generations to come. Thank you, David, for giving me the opportunity to reflect on my legacy and share my advice for those seeking to make a positive impact on the world.
And there you have it, my friends. Our time with the indomitable John Locke comes to a close, but the echoes of his wisdom will continue to resonate through the corridors of history. Join me again on Timeless Talks, where we shall bring the legends of yesteryear back to life, shaping the course of our present and illuminating the path to our future. Until then, stay curious, stay bold, and remember, the timeless wisdom of the past shall guide us forward. Farewell.